These are scenes of the fateful day, 25th October 2023. The day will remain engraved in the minds of learners of Lunzu Secondary School, not for anything academic, but for the horrific scenarios that followed after they took food that had high levels of cypermethrin, which is used to control insects in the household and agriculture fields. Not that the learners wanted to end their lives, but it was a case of food poisoning. Dr. Gift Kawalazira, Director of Health and Social Services for Blantyre, recalls how the signs of the presence of the chemical affected the learners.
We got reports that students were sick at Lunzu Secondary School. Many students, about 150, all of them getting sick at once and presenting with similar symptoms, abdominal pains, some were having diarrhea as well as vomiting. So when we rushed in to actually conduct our investigations, we actually suspected that it could have been a case of food poisoning. So it might have been something that they ate that had something wrong in it. Either it was expired, or it was not properly prepared, properly cooked, or it was contaminated with some kind of chemical that was actually causing all this.
Tests on the maize, flour and food samples that were collected proved that the learners had consumed some type of harmful chemical. The national profile to assess the national infrastructure for management of chemicals shows that actelic and many other chemicals remain in the grain and thereafter in the flour after processing. But issues arise when the waiting period before consumption has not elapsed. For cypermethrin, Dr. Kawalazira says it is not supposed to be ingested at all.
They actually made clear that such kind of chemicals must not be in contact with food that will be consumed by human beings or food that will be consumed by animals, where such kind of meat will eventually be consumed by human beings.
Leston Banda, Principal Monitoring and Enforcement Officer at the Pesticide Control Board, gives the expert view of the food poisoning the students faced back in October 2023.
Farmers would want to make sure that their grains are safe, they are protected from those particular grains. And in so doing, they go and look for a different type of pesticides from the market. At a certain point in time, they may end up accessing unrecommended pesticides, which led to the issue that happened at Lunzu Secondary School.
He says cypermethrin and some other chemicals like dustburn are hazardous to a person's health and need to be used for the intended purpose and in recommended quantities only.
Most of our farmers, they are not aware about the type of pesticides to be applied into the grains, as well as the application dosages, the right application dosages that they are supposed to apply into their produce.
It is clear here that people are unknowingly consuming fatal chemicals like cypermethrin through food. Unfortunately, some of the commonly used pesticides leave a trail of chemicals in the food that people consume daily. This ends up being fatal.
Such kind of chemicals, when they go into your body, apart from causing irritation in the stomach, but they can also cause what we call hemolysis. The red blood cells actually can be bursting in your body, and you can actually die from such kind of a reaction.
It is harvest time for most farmers in the southern and central region. Soon, farmers will begin the process of preserving their food. The harvest farmers get is most cherished because it determines food security at household and national level. Joyce Ntenda is a crop protection specialist at Blantyre Agricultural Development Division, ADD.
It is really important for the farmers to use the right pesticides because the products like maize is food. So it is in the interest of everyone to keep their food as safe as possible. So in that interest, it's not to use any other product that is not recommended for storage.
Estimates of how much Malawi loses due to post-harvest management are shocking. The World Food Programme in October 2023 estimated that Malawi loses 600,000 tons of maize every year due to post-harvest losses. The loss, according to Leston Banda, is too huge, considering that it is enough to feed people in need and eliminate hunger in the country.
It's really a very challenging problem which may lead the country into hunger.
But why do some farmers go as far as using harmful chemicals to preserve produce? According to Dr. Kawalazira, lack of awareness is the main cause. It is clear here that people are ingesting harmful chemicals that are fatal to their well-being. These substances require careful management considering the risk. The need to sensitize farmers on the use of pesticides in preserving produce cannot be overemphasized. As farmers plan on what seed to plant and set aside funds to buy fertilizer, the same attention should be given to chemicals to be used in preserving the produce.